Hey guys, so I just got back from the theater from finally seeing Spectre. I know this is a few days late. I had a lot of stuff to do this weekend, and I kept putting this movie off for no particular reason. I was looking forward to this movie a lot because I'm a big Bond fan, particularly Daniel Craig's version of Bond. Uh, and it looked good. It looked like it was going to be really promising. I just kept putting it off and putting it off, and I got off work today, and I'm like, fuck it, why not? I've been putting it off long enough. I gotta see this movie eventually. And going into the movie, like I said, I was looking forward to it. Also, right before I got to the theater, I had somebody backed into my headlight, and it's a little bit busted, and I lost my Regal Crown Club card, which is one of those cards that you get points to get free movie tickets and free popcorn pop whenever you go to Regal. Why am I pointing this out? Why am I pointing this out? I'm sure a lot of people are asking that. Because going in, I was kind of in a little bit of a bad mood. And I figured Bond should be able to, a new Bond movie should be able to light my mood a little bit. It should. It looks like it's gonna be good. And you know what? Even though I went in with a bad attitude, in a bad mood, I don't think that it affects my opinion at all on this movie. This movie was okay. It was a really big disappointment for me. And the fact that it was okay and really fucking forgettable. And that's pretty bad for a Bond movie when you can say that it's pretty forgettable. Honestly, I haven't really read too much about some critics. It's kind of split down the middle. It's a movie that's kind of been split down the middle of critics. I haven't really read too much as to why, but I can kind of see why. This movie is just, like I said, it's forgettable. It's well acted. It's well made. It's well shot. It's well directed. But by God, there's a lot of things about this movie I did not like. I will say what I did like. Acting in this movie. Mainly Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig pretty much at this point owns this role. He does. As soon as he pops up on screen, you're like, yep, that's James Bond. That's what James Bond is supposed to be, look like, act like. He just owns that role. He is very good. I think he could do this in his sleep by this point. And he is the best part of the movie. Some of the best parts of this movie with him in it were some of the funnier shit. The stuff I really enjoyed. There are two scenes in particular that come to mind. Or three, actually. One when, at the beginning, where he's having that chase in Mexico City, and the building is collapsing, and he falls down, and he just immediately lands on the couch, and the look on his face made me laugh. If you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. That was actually kind of comical. I was like, that was kind of clever. That was probably one of the most clever moments of the whole movie. That, when he was falling down, he just immediately lands on the couch, and that softens his blow as he lands. I like that. I liked also the part where he's being chased by Batista and in the car, and he's trying to. It's a new car that Q built or made or whatever. It's a prototype of a car that Q had made, and there's all these different buttons, and he hits the gun button, and out comes these guns that are supposed to be tailpipes, and he goes to fire it, and it says the guns were never loaded, and I'm like, he's like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So he's like, oh, what's this button? Atmosphere. He turns it on, and all of a sudden the radio starts playing New York, New York. He's like, what the fuck? And it's like, I was like, it was just kind of really random, but it was kind of funny. Also, but the best one was when he points a gun at a mouse. I am not making that up. I don't know why that scene was fucking hysterical. That was probably one of the best scenes of the whole movie. I don't know why, it just was. He just like, who do you work for? He's like, with his spouse just looking at him, I'm just laughing my ass off. Like, Daniel Craig can be really fucking funny in this role. He's a sarcastic asshole, but he plays Bond so damn well, and he makes this movie. The action scenes in this movie are really good. Actually, the opening scene was the best scene in the whole fucking film. That was really well done. Like, for a long time it was just one continuous long shot too. I like that. Anytime a movie can do that, if there was a cut, anywhere in like the first 2 minutes, I didn't recognize it. That was pretty cool. I like that. Anytime a filmmaker does that, and it looked really impressive. Like the whole the action sequences do look impressive, although they're not as good as Skyfall. Some of the action set pieces in Skyfall were, which there was a lot of good ones in there. And I hate comparing this and Skyfall, and I'm going to be doing that a lot in this review, but just go with me. But that's honestly, like I said, it was also well made and also well shot, all that stuff like that. It is well acted. It wasn't really a bad performance in this movie, but that's where my compliments kind of stop. This movie is as fucking generic of a James Bond movie as I've ever seen one. And honestly, this movie's plot is basically borrowed from Mission Impossible. It's basically Mission Impossible Rogue Nation's plot, if done not as good. Like, the Rogue Nation did the same kind of plot for this movie a lot better. And I don't know if, I'm just exhausted from all these espionage spy films. We've had a lot this year. But this movie was the weakest out of all of them. Like, from Kingsman to, like I said, Mission Impossible. This is the weakest. And like I said, this felt like it borrowed heavily the plot from Rogue Nation. And Rogue Nation did this plot a lot better. This one has, for some reason, James Bond. They decided to use a James Bond movie as to talk about drones and surveillance on citizens and shit like that, and it just doesn't really fit in a James Bond movie. Like, it is kind of comical that they're now thinking about using drones instead of 007. They're gonna discontinue the 00 program, which is kind of similar to Rogue Nation, where they're gonna discontinue the IMF and stuff like that. They got a government person, but this one, the guy is a villain, and I know that's getting to spoilers, but the head of the national security that's doing this program is a villain. It shouldn't be much of a surprise when he's being played by the guy who's the villain in the second and third Pirates movie. I mean, he pretty much plays a villain every goddamn time he's in a movie, so I mean, he just looks like a bad guy, seedy, shady guy. He basically is playing the same fucking character. I don't know. Also, the villains in this movie. I want to talk about this. First off, you got Dave Bautista. I was all excited to see Dave Bautista in this film. I remember hearing that they wanted to do a kind of tribute to somebody like all the notorious henchmen of the past movies, like the big giant henchmen like Jaws and stuff. It was going to pay tribute to them. Bautista is so fucking underutilized in this movie. Oh my god. I swear the only thing he does ever, the only thing that is he has like one scene gouges a guy's eyes out. That's it. That's all he fucking does in this movie, and chase James Bond, and that's it. And then one point, his character gets killed. Spoiler alert. And I swear I did not believe that was the end of his fucking character. As I was like, that can't be. That's it. That what the fuck? Like I swear Jaws and all them got more. Jaws is like a famous henchman that everybody talks about. I remember when he died, everybody made a big deal about that. This is not gonna be one of those. And also, you have fucking Christoph Waltz. Christoph fucking Waltz as your main villain, and he's fucking forgettable. That is one of my main problems in this movie. He is, like, you come off of Skyfall, where you have Silva, and Silva was incredible. One of the best Bond villains I've ever seen. He was a character that didn't pop up into the movie until an hour into the thing, and it didn't matter because he was awesome. Like, in this movie, really, Christoph Waltz doesn't really pop up until an hour and a half in this movie. And he's fucking forgettable. Again, Christoph Waltz is your villain, and he's forgettable. That should tell you all you need of what's wrong with this movie. The same guy who did Inglourious Bastards, hell, even did Green Hornet, and was pretty goddamn awesome as the villain. He was the only good thing about that movie. Why? The fuck? Like, and he is basically, and I didn't realize it. Now, I never watched I haven't watched many of the old ones. It wasn't until the very end that I realized that he's basically this movie is a prequel to all the other films, apparently, and that he eventually becomes what Dr. Evil and Austin Powers is parodying, like the guy with the scar and like the cat and everything. Like, well, that's great. And I couldn't stop thinking about that as soon as that happened at the end of the movie, where he has a scar and all that stuff. Like, so he's Dr. Evil, okay. Austin Powers is forever ruined that. Also, this is something I cannot stand about Bond movies a little bit. This is a little bit of a rant. I know this has been a normal thing, but you have this always happen where you have two Bond girls. One that's the main one, that's love interest, and the other that is so fucking forgettable. This is a really good example of a fucking forgettable. Monica Bellucci pops up in this movie and has no fucking purpose whatsoever. Her scenes could have been cut, and this movie would... Seriously, there's a lot of this movie that could have been cut. I could have been happy with that. It felt 2.5 hours. Like, Skyfall didn't. This felt like 2.5 hours. And, like, the Monica Bellucci stuff... There's no purpose for her whatsoever. At least the other girl, there was purpose for her. And there's no chemistry for Bond. I swear this has to be one of the worst Bond girls. There was no chemistry between her and Daniel Craig at all. Bond is in love with her after maybe one scene with her. And I mean, I know it's Bond. He has sex with all the girls, whatever. That's not really a complaint, but it's like so generic of a Bond movie. Like, oh god, this movie, like I said, it's so. And like I said, I could not find myself getting interested in the story. I was just bored. I just, like, there's points of this movie I'm like, is this movie over yet? Is it? No. Oh god, we got more. Like, I'm like. It's one of those movies that's just like, I kept asking myself, is this movie over yet? And that's pretty bad. And like, I wouldn't say that this is a weird thing I'm noticing, is that this is the 24 film, and so every time, the last few movies I've seen, all the even movies are the ones that are bad, and the odd ones are the ones that are good. Quantum of Solace was bad. Die Another Day was bad. This was bad. And Casino Royale and Skyfall were good. So there you go. That's a good example. I'm starting to notice this weird trend. I hope this is not. Maybe I'm the only one noticing this, but what the fuck? This was. It's not terrible. I think this was worse than Quantum of Solace. I didn't mind Quantum of Solace that much, but it was another one that was generic and just forgettable. Skyfall had fucking Silva, especially, and Skyfall had a lot of cool scenes in it. They were really memorable. A lot of action set pieces that were memorable, that I remember, and Casino Royale was the introduction to Daniel Craig's character and how awesome he was, and I loved the chemistry between. Eva Green was one of the best Bond girls I think I've ever seen. Eva Green's just an amazing actress. The chemistry between her and you believe that relationship too. And this one I didn't believe Bond's relationship whatsoever. I know I might get some shit for not liking this movie. I was just disappointed. All right, I didn't hate it. I was disappointed. Like, I was really wanting to like this movie. I was trying to get into it. I couldn't. This movie was not giving me anything to get into at all. As far as trailers go, let's see here. I got a few new ones. Hold on one second. Jesus Christ. Please stand by. I got the new trailer for Concussion. Apparently the NFL, I guarantee this movie's pretty far-fetched. Apparently the NFL was trying to murder this guy. Like, they threatened him and his family that if he reveals this information, he's gonna fucking kill them. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, man, they take this shit seriously. I'm pretty certain that probably was made up. I would, if not, then fucking NFL should be sued easily. I don't know how, that's one of the plot elements of this movie. They really are taking this seriously. Like, literally, there's a scene in the trailer where they're threatening him and his family, and like, wow. If you don't know what Concussion is, it's the Will Smith movie where he's the doctor that finds out about concussions in the NFL players. In the Heart of the Sea, I got a new trailer for that. This is the true story that inspired Moby Dick, including, show snippets of a guy, Brendan Gleeson, telling the guy who wrote Moby Dick the story and him being inspired by the story. I don't understand why I just wouldn't do a fucking Moby Dick movie, but whatever. This movie has been delayed. I have gotten this trailers for this movie for, like, I swear, 2 years now. It don't come out until next year, or it comes out next month. And this movie was supposed to come out in March, and I got a lot of trailers for this movie, like, before March, and then it didn't come out in March, and then it came out in December, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. I've gotten trailers for this thing for forever. I got this, to my pleasant surprise, I got a trailer for Star Wars The Force Awakens. Holy fucking God. The new one that got released on Monday Night Football. Oh my God, that trailer is amazing, especially in the theater. Like, hearing the surround sound, hearing the music, hearing the sounds. It just sent. I had goosebumps watching that trailer. Like, I can't fucking wait. I already got my tickets. I'll be there opening night. I want to try to do, like, with a group of people, try to make a special review, because it's such a big movie. I want to try to get a group of people. I don't know if that's going to happen, but because get, like, more than one person's opinion on it. God damn, I can't wait for that movie. And the last trailer I got, I was like, Star Wars should have been the trailer to lead to the movie. Nope, we got one more. London Has Fallen. Okay, so I liked Olympus Has Fallen. Olympus Has Fallen was a really dumb as hell movie, but it was awesome. I loved it. It was a better Die Hard movie than Die Hard 5, like a lot of people have said. And it came out a month after Die Hard 5. Now we have, of course, because Hollywood is idiots, are idiots. We got a sequel to Olympus Has Fallen because that needed to happen, called London Has Fallen, where terrorists are blowing up London because they want the American president. And of course, the American and Gerard Butler's gonna save the day. I was just like, this looks so fucking retarded. This looks even more retarded than the first one. I'm still gonna see it. I don't know why. I was like, if it's even as close as stupid as the first one was, I will fucking see this. It looks hysterical. It looks unintentionally hysterical. Yeah, that's as far as trailers go. Don't see Spectre. I mean, I would say see it for a rental. Maybe at a cheap theater. If you're a Bond fan, of course you're probably gonna see it anyways. Just so disappointed by this movie. Just really disappointed, and I'm not. Doesn't kill my attitude towards Bond. I will still see the next one when it comes out. I'll still see it, but again, every series, when you have 24 films, you're gonna have one good movie, a few good movies, and a few bad movies while you're at it. So it's gonna happen, and it just happens every so often that they don't do a very good Bond movie. So all right, that's as far as the Spectre goes and trailers. I'll be back later this week with something. I don't know. It depends on what I decide to go see. It could be anything. It's one of those weeks where there's nothing out. It's next week. The next week after that, we got Hunger Games and Night Before and Legend too. Jesus Christ, I got a lot of movies that week. But until then, I'll talk to you guys later.